What's going on, guys? TKD 123 with you. As I was talking about the brand new news that just came out this weekend revolving around Destiny 2's PC beta. Now, of course, this has been a big topic of discussion the past few weeks just because the PC beta for the game got delayed a little bit and it was not in the same time as the console ones. That happened a few weeks ago and stuff like that. And that is mainly because, maybe they want to optimize the beta, maybe they want, to do things with the beta. And also, I feel the main reason mine is data miners, right? So on the PC side of things, right, whether you have a beta or an alpha or a beta test or a, whatever thing you want to call it, right? Like whenever you have a game that's partially released ahead of its full release, they tend to dig into the code, data mine is what it's called, and they tend to find, things that the devs didn't want people to know about the game, and they tend to find it within the code of the beta, right? So like whether, let's say hypothetically, Destiny 2 comes with, I don't know, a third person mode where like you can exclusively play Destiny 2 in third person, right? The beta might have that code still lingering in there, because why would they want to build a whole separate build of the game just for the beta when they could easily just kind of block off all the stuff that's in the full game and give you kind of a full build game kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? That's not exactly the full build of the game, doesn't have everything, but it has a majority of stuff, especially with the game having a beta just months away from its full release. And that is, a big issue. Like we have that plenty of time and time again. We have these data miners that go in and, they find out things, about the game that the devs haven't told us yet, or that the devs wanted to keep a secret for us to kind of experience full and live on the release of the game and stuff like that. And so what is happening here now, right? So we all know that the Destiny 2 beta has been pushed a couple months. I believe it's happening in, I think, late August or September, something like that. Actually, I just checked. It will be happening on the August 28th for people that pre-ordered, and August 29th, it will go for an open beta and stuff like that. Then it will end on 31st. So a pretty short beta, actually, like really short. You know what I'm saying? I think that the Destiny 2 beta on consoles was like a week, something like that, when they extended it. I don't know. But that one's a very short beta, right? But now we have this article from GameSpot here that is saying that there will be new restrictions to certain game capture and voice chat apps on the PC beta side for Destiny 2. So just to pull directly from the words of Bungie, they said in order to prevent cheating, it is restricting any attempts by apps to, quote, insert code into the game client. Many capture apps tweak game client slightly while running to push notifications, capture a game directly, or other such functions. And these apps, that they are blocking here on the beta for Destiny 2 are really prominent apps here. Like we are talking about OBS, we're talking about XSplit, we're talking about Discord, we're talking about Mumble, we're talking about all of these apps that a lot of people on the PC side of things use a day-to-day basis, whether it be for streaming, whether it be for capturing gameplay, whether it be for whatever else they do, what I'm saying, even to chat with friends. Like a lot of people use Discord, right? On the PC, I use Discord from time to time, I'm saying, like I use Discord from time to time, right? And so they are gonna block those because the kind of main thing here is that I guess those apps insert code into the game, right? And so that equals a very easy way for people to insert cheats into the game, thus becoming cheaters and everything, and thus manipulating the game to their own advancement and benefit and everything. And so, their kind of way of going about this is that let's just block all of these services, at least on the beta side of things. We don't know about the full game, but at least on the beta side of things, so that we won't have any cheaters, going into the game. However, there are some workarounds here. So at least directly from them, from the good people at Bungie, right? They have said that, they are not necessarily blocking the capture in full screen mode, right? So that is a different thing where like you will have to play the game on a window capture, right? And so have to capture the game off of window capture, right? So of course, that one's a little bit iffy because then there are issues with lag about, how fast you're inputting the game controls and actions on the keys versus how fast it takes for those controls to go into your PC, manipulate on the game running raw, and then output that game footage that has changed controls onto the window capture. So definitely there are some hoops there. Definitely there's gonna be some lag issues on that front in the form of input lag. Well, really not even input lag, what I'm saying? Like, it's not even really input lag, it's just the fact that, the controls have to go to, from when you put it into the keyboard to the PC to run it again on the game, and then to reflect that, game footage to the window capture software. So definitely there's, that's gonna cause a little bit of lag there. But that is a workaround that, they are stating that, they're gonna leave open and leave it working and stuff like that. And then alongside that, they do say that external capture devices or hardware manufacturers manufacturer app like Nvidia's or AMD's, you know, their own software that allows you to capture gameplay shape from the GPU and stuff like that, you know, those will be able to work along with external devices, just, you know, like Elgato or stuff like that. So those ways are all fine and dandy, you know what I'm saying? So like hypothetically speaking, if I were having this issue, if I was running Destiny 2 on PC, I would just use my Elgato and we would be all good to go there, you know what I'm saying? But for those, you know, applications that are only software based, that don't require hardware, just like OBS, just like XSplit, you know, they will not work. And I think the biggest issue here, right, like the biggest thing that I feel the problem is here is that, you know, this also takes into account those software that, you know, track stats on the PC build, right? And that really tracks stats on the PC, like whichever game you're running, right? So for example, FRAPS is a big one. Like FRAPS likes to track, you know, the percentage of GPU that's running, the CPU and stuff like that, and then also, most importantly, you know, tracks frame rate. And so while I saw this story, you know, just blowing up and everything on Reddit and everything, over the weekend, I saw a post by a Redditor, you know what I'm saying, that was talking about how he uses software programs like FRAPS and everything that track the whole entire rigs, you know, how everything's working on, you know what I'm saying, like if it's running at a high GPU rate, if it's having a high CPU, like all that stuff, right? Like he uses that data and runs it live whenever he gets a new game to properly tweak, you know, the game. So he threw out an example, like, okay, like let's say a game, you know, with anti-aliasing, you know, if I turn it off, it has a GPU boost of 15%, or if I, you know, have shadowing on my game, or if I have, you know, whatever type of graphical preference or setting, you know, on the game, he can see, you know, what settings, you know, actually affect the GPU and CPU to fine tune, you know, the settings and everything, so that for his personal rig, whatever he's running on, you know, the game can run at the best way that he wants to, right? You know what I'm saying? And so he uses those programs like that, and now he just proposed the argument that, like, hey man, like, you know, this isn't cool because I'm trying to optimize the game on my end to make it the best way possible. And of course, you know, the good guys at Bungie, they are doing it as well. But, you know, just for my personal rig, because, you know, Destiny, you know, the guys at Bungie, they can't, you know, take into account all the different types of PCs out there, all the different types of GPUs running, CPUs, the amount of RAM running on them. I'm saying, like, all these different things, they can't take into, you know, they can't probably take that into account, you know, while developing the game. And so that's more on the user end thing, to go in, use these programs, and finally, you know, kind of tune the actual settings of the game so that, you know, it runs the best on their rig for their personal rig. And so that is a big argument that a lot of people were putting out, is that, hey man, like, I'm trying to just optimize this game on my end, and you guys aren't letting me here on the PC beta. And another huge argument here is bigly, you know, just talking about the actual reported frame rate and resolution for the game, because they're saying, okay, if you won't let us use the programs like, you know, FRAPS and everything on the beta, you know, maybe you guys are trying to hide the point that maybe Destiny 2 on the PC beta doesn't run at 60, or maybe it doesn't run at native 4K, or maybe it doesn't run at, you know, whatever so and so in the third. And so they're hiding that, you know, in the beta. Now, of course, I feel that that's absolutely not the case. I feel like that's a little bit, you know, definitely not Bungie style, but, you know, maybe, I don't know, who knows, but, you know, that is also another argument that a lot of people are putting out there. So my take here on this, right, so of course, you all know I don't have a PC, right? I don't PC game, okay? I'm saying, like, I edit all my stuff on Macs. I like the Mac software. That's just, you know, what I like, you know, I just like Mac OS, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot me, you know what I'm saying? But I usually do my gaming on my PS4. Actually, all my gaming is on my PS4 to be exact. And you know, that's where I'll be playing Destiny 2. That's where I'll be playing Lawbreakers. That's where I'll be playing all the other games that are coming out this year. I will be playing it on a PS4, and every single game that you've seen on this channel has it on a base PS4, right? And so this doesn't really affect me that much at all, really, like really at all, honestly. But you know, I feel like there is a bone to pick here in this whole thing, right? It's because it's the whole argument of how they're going about this, right? So I understand, you know, that they want to cut down on cheating. I definitely understand that. I definitely get it, right? But why don't, you know, instead of looking at these services that, you know, require or that give a person the ability to cheat, right? Rather looking at them and saying, hey, let's just cut them off. Isn't it like let's just, you know, cut it off. Like, that's like saying, like, oh, okay, maybe my leg might, you know, it might break tomorrow, right? I might as well just cut off my leg, right? Just to, you know, save the hassle, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not the way to go about things, I feel, my opinion, right? So I think that maybe they should have, I don't know, maybe just double down on more anti-cheating software. Maybe they should have do what other devs do, where they have, like, different things built into their game where, you know, if they sense someone cheating in the game, they, you know, have a boss, you know, spawn them that cannot be killed or something like that. Something crazy like that to kind of more, you know, in a more fun way deter people from cheating. Now, of course, I don't know how hard it is to do that. I have no idea if that's even effective at all. I have no idea. That's what I've heard. But I just feel like, you know, taking away these core essential software, you know, things that people use on a day-to-day basis for streaming and recording everything, I feel like taking them away is not really solving the issue, just more of a band-aid. And of course, we have the whole caveat that this might be just for the beta. This probably won't be for the full game. I really doubt they would do this for the full game. But, you know, it's just even for the beta, then we have the argument of people saying that, oh, if you're hiding fraps, are you hiding the true frame rate and resolution of the game? There's a whole bunch of things that we can talk about here about this topic, but I feel, you know, that taking away the ability to use these services, I don't think that's a real solution. I don't think that's a real, you know, oh, okay, cool, case closed. Like, you know, there's no cheating. Well, there's no cheating because you took away the most essential software, you know, licenses and like things that people use on a day-to-day basis for a PC. But, you know, what do I know? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you guys think about all of this Destiny 2 beta hoopla here where they're restricting software and everything? Leave it in the comments below. And with that, make sure to check out my description. You can follow my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you can follow me on there. Thanks for watching, and as always, I got you.